Hi, so I'm Shannon Bernier, and I've been attending Canyon Ridge for about 16 years now, and I'm a LifeBringer. What does it mean to be a good neighbor? I love that question. To me, being a good neighbor means to be available and to be intentional and literally to be friendly. This neighborhood is full of so much joy and full of children and full of families. It's even full of widows and it's full of lonely people. And the only way that I know that is because garage doors are open. And if we see one of our neighbors, we have this silly little thing we do. We just go, "Hey neighbor." And you don't want to ignore a cheer. So they're just like, "Hey neighbor." And even in one hello, it creates an intentional bond. I was talking to someone the other day and I actually heard this phrase come out of my mouth, the phrase strategic encouragement. And I thought, wow, how come I think about neighboring like that? And being strategic about that encouragement means that you have text numbers for moms. You have a neighbor. I have a widow neighbor next door. She's amazing. Her name's Barb, and she's like a second mom to me. And I think God truly knew, because I've seen neighbors come and go, and I prayed over that house. Who is going to be there? Lord, please help them not be mad at my 4 kids, because we're loud and our doors are open and people come and go constantly. So this woman came in, and I kid you not, her daughter had passed away a few years ago. My mom had passed away a few years ago, and God just allowed this relationship to be like almost a physical on earth mother-daughter friendship forming, where I check on her constantly. Her water heater went out last night, and 10 o'clock at night, we're running over each other's houses, helping each other. And that is just true availability. And it's so cool. In the question, how to be a good neighbor, I think actually if we flip it, what stops people from being a good neighbor is the fear of not being prepared. Or, oh, my house isn't clean enough. I don't want anyone coming in. Or, I don't have enough food. I only made 6 pieces of chicken. If that other kid comes in, how am I gonna? So, of course we all have intimidations and fears, but that is not going to stop us. If we are to do what God's asking us to do, then we've got to allow that fear just to be broken down and say the reward is so much greater, because I believe that God just brings these spontaneous moments. And these spontaneous moments are never made through preparation, honestly. I mean, water heaters break. The other day, our water heater broke, and it was in the evening, and I actually had some kids over, and I just texted their dads, and I said, "Hey, Doug's outside trying to do this. Can you guys come over and help lift it up?" And they spent 3 hours. They ended up talking half the night, trip to Lowe's, of course, and then we're all planning to go out for dinner. So that's how it happens. Something breaks, or a kid needs something. And it just feels right to be the person that people can come to and have no fear. I want my number in this neighborhood to be textable. So in our home, we have a bunch of kids, and we wanted teenagers to feel like they could invite people over and just kind of move from more board games area to a cool hangout. So we painted our loft upstairs, and we have this tradition where anyone who comes over has to sign a wall. And so this black chalkboard paint wall, we just grabbed these bright colored markers, and over time, I think it's been only 2 years now, the entire wall is filled up of names of people who have come over. And I love it. I know it just seems silly, and people would say, "Why would you ever paint your wall?" But for me, so a guest that comes in and say, "Hey, we have this cool tradition. Here's a marker. Get upstairs and write your name on it." It is so much fun. It breaks the ice. You have to have something that makes someone feel comfortable. You know what the coolest part about it is? The next time that person comes over, and say we're just upstairs hanging out playing music, and they see their name on the wall, or they see something they've written, it feels like a part of their home. It's a place where they're welcome. And I think the art of neighboring just simply means invite people and let them feel welcome. And so when we moved into this neighborhood, we just prayed, "Please, Lord, just use us. We have this space. All of a sudden, God, thank you. But we want it to be a space used for you." And my husband and I were completely on the same vision of that. And I am so grateful that God has answered that prayer in our hearts to say yes, because our doors are open. And I love a home full of laughter and kids and families and people and neighbors.